Hello, and welcome back to the Little Leagues podcast. It's Friday Night SmackDown and NXT, a WWE Week in Review. Except Raw, because I already made an episode on Raw. Go listen to it if you haven't yet. It's actually good. Michael Cole's on SmackDown now. That's cool, I guess. Cody opened the show because he won. He said some stuff. I don't really know. I realized my episode is just me recapping, whatever the show was. And I want to talk more about my thoughts. So, yeah. Cody was talking, and obviously, no matter what happened, Bloodline was going to interrupt him, so he just told them to come out. And for some reason, Cody gave Solo another title shot, and it's in a steel cage. That's going to help. Bloodline's just going to open the door. And also, DIY and Street Profits came to back up Cody before the Bloodline could do anything. But Nick Aldis stopped them. But they got a Nick Aldis? No. They got an 8-man tag team match. So, fun, I guess. Spoiler alert, it wasn't that good. There was also Tiffany versus Bayley, because for some reason, Tiffany hates Bayley. Bayley makes sense. Tiffany is the reason she lost her title. But what did Bayley do to Tiffany? Bayley even gave Tiffany her own Money in the Bank briefcase, but Bayley won that match. Yippee! Santos Escobar talked. He was saying something. I don't know. Probably, LA Knight beat me and he is so cool and awesome. Yeah! Giovanni Vinci came back after Kaiser betrayed him, which, let's just say after what happened tonight, if I was Kaiser, I'd do the same thing. Vinci, for being gone for so long, was soaking it in just a bit too much and was just standing in the middle of the ring. And the ref was telling him that he was going to start the match and ring the bell. But Vinci was just sitting there, taking off his jacket, not paying attention. Then the bell rang. And then Apollo Crews ran up on him. And then curled him up. And he got the 1, 2, 3. The last. Oh, God. I'm going to stop this. Apollo got the 1, 2, 3 and won the match. And the match lasted 3 seconds. Yeah. Vinci sucks now. And in my opinion, the first good match of the night, Kevin Owens, Grayson Waller, and Austin Theory in a triple threat. Also, for some reason, KO changed his shirt because we saw him backstage and he had an entirely different shirt on. But, I don't know. And against all odds, Kevin Owens won. But of course, Theory and Waller attacked him and they think they're the best tag team in the division. And they're not. And then we got the best thing ever, an LA Knight promo. Yeah! He came out to talk his talk because he had already walked the walk, but Mello had to interrupt him. Just know, I hate Mello. And then Andrade came out. And I don't care about him and Mello's rivalry, because it sucks. And I don't care about it. But LA Knight planted them and put both of them on the floor, because LA Knight is the best. Yeah! And I'm guessing this is leading to a number 1 contenders match for the United States Championship. Then there was Meechin versus Chelsea Green. For some reason, probably because Green is bratty and Meechin wanted to prove a point. And Green called me smelly. And that wasn't nice. But of course, Piper Niven helped Green and Chelsea won. She has I don't like last names that are colors. Like Green. It just sounds like I'm talking about a color. And then there was the main event, DIY and Street Profits versus the Bloodline. And you guessed it, Bloodline won. Next week we have Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa, steel cage for the Universal Championship. Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade, their 5th match together. And the tiebreaker to see, and it's a tiebreaker to see who is better than the other. And A-Town Down Under versus KO and his mystery partner.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Yeah, I wish, but it's not happening. I'm guessing Randy, since he lost at Bash in Berlin. That's all we know about next week, so yeah. But, okay, I wrote this script on Friday, and now it's the week. We're getting SmackDown in 4 days. But overall, this was a pretty disappointing show. It was lackluster and nothing unique. And now, it's NXT. Not NXT, Ethan. Shut up. Trick Williams opened the show. And to be honest, I didn't even know he made a diss track against Dunn. But He wants Pete to come out because they're at war and Pete sucks. But another sucky guy comes out, Ethan Page, the man who needs to put on some clothes. And Trick wants his title back after he's done with Pete. Then Pete came out to fight Trick, but Trick dodged because he is awesome sauce. Then we had a match way better than any match at SmackDown. The number 1 contenders NXT Tag Team Championship match. With 4 big guys and 2 small guys. The Rascals, Hank and Tank, Honk, Honk, Wolfgang, and Mark Coffey. Oh, my phone's too close. I didn't know who to root for because What? I didn't know who to root for, Rascals or Hank and Tank, because I like them both. I wanted Hank and Tank to win because at least if they won, they had an actual chance at the titles, but the Rascals won. They aren't winning Tuesday, sadly, but I know they won't. And I just have to accept it now. And if they do, well, good. Good for them. Get the tag title out the hands of a Power Ranger. But Trey gave me a high five too, so that's cool. Also, quick story time, little spoiler here. Gallus came out twice, and the first time I yelled at Wolfgang and Gallus, "You suck!" And Wolfgang is like, "No, we don't." Something like that. I can't really remember because it was like a week ago. And I should have wrote it while it was happening. Or like recorded or something. But I didn't. But when they came out later, I said, "You suck again." And Wolfgang said, "I remember you." And we don't suck. And I yelled back. And we yelled back and forth each other during the ad break. So I'd just like to say, thank you, Wolfgang, for the experience you gave me last Tuesday. And I look forward to yelling at you again. Then we go backstage where Oba comes to confront the Don again. The Don of NXT. Tony D. How much I love him. Oba drops a controversial insult to Rizzo that presses Tony D's disrespect button. And it's decided that the underboss, Stax, will face Oba later in the show, where he inevitably will be destroyed by the ruler. And for the first of 2 times of the night, Trig and Pete were fighting backstage. And Gallus was yelling about Javon, and Joe was going to fight Javon. Like Joe Coffey. And Gallus wants the Heritage Cup. And if they win it, I will yell at Gallus louder. Then it was the scary person, Rosemary versus Tatum Paxley. I was rooting for Tatum, and she won. Yay! But Wendy and Rosemary attacked Tatum after the match. But Lyra Valkyria came out and helped her. Oh my god! And while she was leaving, she gave me a high five. Thanks, Lyra. And then Pete and Trick started brawling again, sending Butch straight to the brawling brutes. Get it? Heh. Then Ava screamed at them to go and have their match, then instead of the main event. And then the Ego Man said that ever since Ava was the GM of NXT, NXT's been falling apart. Shut up, Ethan! Then Jordan Grace said she was having an open challenge match for her TNA championship. She's probably going to win. I don't really think they're going to do, like, championships on different brands. It would be kind of weird if someone else won the title, the TNA title, and then they're on NXT. Like, I get TNA wrestlers coming with their championship onto a show, and NXT wrestlers going with their championships onto TNA. But if an NXT wrestler has a TNA championship, and then TNA wrestler has an NXT championship, it doesn't really make sense to me. But then we got to see Trick whoop that Butch. But nobody won! What the heck, dude? What happened? The ref ended the match in a double countout. The match was awesome, though. But when the match ended, both men were laying on a broken announcer's table. And after the bell rang, everyone started chanting, "Ref, you suck! Ref, you suck!" But they kept fighting anyway, because they don't care anymore. Until they were pulled apart by security. And we are getting a last man standing match tomorrow between Trick and Butch. I hate him so much, I'm going to call him Butch, because I know he doesn't like it. Then we watched Ridge talk about some stuff, since for some reason they lost at No Mercy, and he broke Duke's trophy. He was saying how Mr. Chase destroyed Chase U, which doesn't make sense whatsoever, saying Ridge, like, hit on Mr. Chase with a DDT. So, yeah, I feel like kind of shouldn't be allowed to say that. But then we had Javon Evans versus Joe Coffey. And I'm just going to say, Javon won. This was a pretty normal match, so yeah, that's it. But my dad really liked it. Because, as everyone says, that boy bouncy! And then Stax versus Oba even, with that thing on his knee. You know, Stack, he had the little weird thing on his knee. And they even showed my dad bada bing, bada booming. But Oba absolutely destroyed Stacks, as I expected. But throughout the match, Tony was just kind of staring into space. What does he think about? Where's the Dawn of NXT headed with Oba or the family? And after the match... Oh, okay. And he was even staring during the break until Rizzo had to drag him out of there, pretty much. Javon is also getting a match for the Heritage Cup. Ren is also very ecstatic that Javon called her cool. Javon also screamed Ava's name in the funniest way ever. Then Roxanne came out to gloat. How nice, Roxanne. We totally all like you. To the people that like Roxanne, don't come for me. But instead of Julia, we got someone that called me Stinky. I hated her before, and I hate her more now. Chelsea Green. Get out of here. You called me Stinky. But I'm pretty sure she was just smelling the smoke machine, because I was sitting right there. Let me tell you, that thing stinks. But then Julia came out and pretty much knocked her out. And as I predicted, her and Roxanne will be fighting for the title on CW on October 1st. That was pretty cool to see. But for those who don't know, I'm just going to say the matches we're having on Raw today. I just need to open it on Instagram. One moment, please. Bret Hitman Hart is in the building. He's probably going to open Raw. They have an 8-person tag team match, which is going to be a street fight between American Made and the Wyatt Six. Then Drew McIntyre will address last week's attack on Punk, which was brutal. And then the number one contenders match, which is really funny because they made a post saying who will become number one contender to the IC title. 80% of the votes went to Jey Uso, which makes sense. I swear to God, if Pete wins, I swear to God, I might throw something at him tomorrow night. And then, I don't know if it's going to be a confrontation or a match, but Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill against Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. And then Dominic Mysterio versus Dragon Lee. And then Shayna Baszler, Sonya Deville, and Zoe Stark versus Lyra Valkyria, Zelina Vega, and a mystery person. But for those who watch NXT, Tatum Paxley said, "No one on Raw has your back like I do." So I'm going to predict that Tatum is going to be fighting alongside Lyra Valkyria on Raw. Maybe, possibly, I don't know. What is Pete signed on to? Because he's on Raw and NXT. So I'm extremely confused what he signed on to. So if anyone knows, like, specifically, maybe you can tell me, please, because, yeah, I'm confused. Okay, bye-bye. And that's been Just the Little Leagues podcast. I'll see you next Saturday. Because I was supposed to make this episode on Saturday, but it's okay. I'll see ya in the next one. Goodbye.